Welcome back to the Facts Matrix. Today we're meeting a legend, a creature so fierce and iconic that even its bones look angry. This is the rise, reign, and fall of Tyrannosaurus rex, the true king of the dinosaurs. Long before it starred in movies or museum halls, the story began with a single fossil tooth found in 1874. At the time, scientists didn't realize what they had. It was just another mystery from the rocks of Colorado. But decades later, fossil hunter Barnum Brown started unearthing something that would rewrite prehistoric history. Between 1900 and 1902, while digging through the badlands of Wyoming and Montana, he found the colossal remains of a predator so massive it dwarfed every known carnivore. Paleontologist Henry Fairfield Osborn would give it a name worthy of its size, a mix of Greek and Latin meaning Tyrant Lizard King. And in 1905, the world met Tyrannosaurus rex. It towered over every other predator on land, ruling the Cretaceous period like a living tank. When Barnum Brown mounted the first skeleton at the American Museum of Natural History in 1915, people had never seen anything like it. The T-Rex stood upright, tail dragging on the ground, the classic kangaroo pose that would define dinosaur art for generations. That silhouette would later inspire one of the most famous logos in movie history, the roaring T-Rex of Jurassic Park. But that first skeleton was just the beginning. Over the next century, fossil hunters uncovered dozens of T-Rex skeletons, each one adding new details to the story of this ancient king. Names like Stan, Scotty, and the most famous of all, Sue, became legends. Sue, discovered in 1990 by Sue Hendrickson in South Dakota, remains the most complete T-Rex ever found, about 90% intact. Her skeleton revealed not just size, but scars, evidence of injuries and infections that show these creatures lived brutal, dangerous lives. So, just how big was the king? Fully grown, a T-Rex stretched more than 40 feet from nose to tail and weighed close to 9 tons, heavier than an elephant, longer than a bus. Its skull alone was the size of a grown man, lined with teeth like railroad spikes. Those teeth weren't for slicing, they were for crushing. Each bite could slam down with as much as 8,000 pounds of force, easily shattering bone. And yes, those little arms everyone jokes about? Each one was longer than a human's and strong enough to lift 400 pounds. Small? Sure. Useless? Not a chance. Early T-Rexes probably had a light coat of fuzz when they were young, similar to their bird relatives. But adults were covered mostly in rough scales, armor-like skin perfect for a heavyweight hunter built for raw power. Its closest known cousins, like Tarbosaurus in Asia, shared that same bone-crushing design, proving this wasn't just a local king. It was an empire of predators stretching across the ancient world. Life for a T-Rex was violent from start to finish. Juveniles were fast, slender, and agile, chasing small prey like early mammals, lizards, and duck-billed dinosaurs. But as they grew, they transformed into muscular juggernauts capable of taking down giants like Triceratops and Edmontosaurus. Some fossil bones even show healed bite marks, proof that prey sometimes survived the king's attack. But it also proves something else. T-Rex was definitely a hunter, not just a scavenger. Yes, it probably stole meals when it could, but this was no prehistoric vulture. This was an ambush predator that could crush skulls and snap spines in one bite. Even so, the king's greatest enemy might have been itself. Fossils show bite marks on other T-Rexes, including faces, jaws, and even tails, evidence of fights, maybe over territory or mates. Some were healed, meaning they survived the battles. Others weren't so lucky. There's even evidence that some T-Rexes may have eaten their own kind, the ultimate sign that when food ran low, survival came first. Despite that brutality, there's also a chance these animals were smarter, and maybe even more social than we once thought. Brain studies suggest T-Rex had the intelligence of some modern mammals, and some scientists believe pairs or family groups may have hunted together. If true, imagine it. Not one T-Rex stalking you through the ferns, but several, moving in silent cooperation. A prehistoric pride of lions, scaled and monstrous. But as history always shows, even the mightiest kingdoms fall. 66 million years ago, a 6-mile-wide asteroid slammed into the Yucatan Peninsula with the force of 10 million atomic bombs. The blast ignited forests, turned oceans to steam, and blocked out the sun for years. When the fires went out, 75% of life on Earth was gone, and the Tyrant Lizard King, ruler of all land, vanished forever. But extinction couldn't erase its legend. From the first museum displays to the silver screen, T-Rex became the face of the prehistoric world. It roared through King Kong, dominated the lost world, and redefined dinosaurs forever in Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park. That unforgettable roar, that giant footstep, it changed everything. Since then, the king has never left the throne. It starred in documentaries, from Walking with Dinosaurs to Prehistoric Planet, and appeared in games, toys, and even kids' shows. Every generation meets the T-Rex in a new form and falls in love with it all over again. After more than a century of study, we've learned that Tyrannosaurus rex wasn't just the largest land predator of its age, it was also one of the most complex. It hunted, fought, healed, evolved, and finally vanished in a blaze of cosmic fire. Yet through fossils, film, and imagination, the king of the dinosaurs still reigns, a timeless symbol of power and survival. Thanks for watching. If you loved exploring the world of the mighty T-Rex, tell us in the comments below. Which fact blew your mind the most? And if you're enjoying this journey through prehistory, take a second to hit that like button and subscribe. Your support helps us keep creating amazing content here on the Facts Matrix. And remember, the king may be gone, but its roar still echoes through time. Well, there you have it. Thanks for joining us on the journey. Until next time, when the Facts Matrix brings you more facts about people, places, and beyond.